Right, we are finally back. As you can imagine, work has been very busy. You can probably tell that from the lack of content. But I have got some parts and a little bit of free time, so we're going to get the S2 in. R8's still in bits. We're going to get the S2 in, we're going to fit some new rear calipers, and then I'm going to go get some number plates made, and I'm going to get this thing booked in for an MOT, because it has been far too long. I've had this car, well, it must be 2.5 months now. I've not even really driven it. Well, I haven't even driven it on the road properly. So anyway, let's get it in and let's get cracking. Right, so what we've got here is hopefully a pair of calipers for the S2. Bought them off of eBay, so yeah. And the reason for that is this caliper here has exploded. So somewhere in here where the mechanism for the handbrake is has blown a seal, and it literally just dumped all of its fluid over time. Every time I park in the workshop there's a bigger puddle. And now the brakes don't work. So yeah, I've actually bought a pair of rear calipers and carriers to replace the whole lot, because might as well. So anyway, let's get on and I'm not going to take them apart yet. I'm going to open the box. You never know with eBay stuff. It said it fit the S2 coupe, so we're going to open the box first, and then we're going to take the car apart. Always open the box first. Anyway, let's open it up. Okay, so we're good to proceed. This is the right part. It's pretty much an exact match for what's on there. Unfortunately not genuine, because it's very difficult to find these genuine calipers. Like I say, got these off eBay with a part number, thanks to the guys on the S2 forum, as usual, because I was struggling to find the right one. So put the part number in, it's good to go. So let's get on and fit it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is obviously remove the wheel so we can gain access to the caliper. My first thing I always do is just crack off the brake line. It's a 14mm, just crack it off just so you haven't got to struggle once it's off the vehicle. Next up, we're going to remove the two 13mm bolts that hold the caliper to the carrier. There's one at the top there, and then one down there at the bottom. Next up is the two Torx bolts that are in the caliper carrier, and these were rusty. Right, the next thing we're going to be doing is clamping the brake line so we don't lose any fluid when we remove the caliper. Now obviously this has lost all its fluid anyway, so I don't particularly need to be doing this. It's just for reference and showing you how to do it. Right, now we're all loose, we're ready to remove the caliper from the brake line, or the brake line from the caliper, whatever way you look at it. So it spins anti-clockwise, and that's lefty-loosey. You should know that. Next, we're removing the handbrake cable from the receiver. To do this is quite easy. You just put a bar in and pry it, and then pop the ball joint out of the little slot that it sits in just there. Now the new carrier's all fitted up. We're ready to now fit the new caliper and the brake pads. So top tip here, you can't fit the handbrake cable until you've bled the caliper. If you do this, you can void manufacturer's warranties. So what we need to do first is we need to bleed the caliper, get all of the air out of it, then we can move on to fitting the handbrake cable back to the caliper. So in true eBay fashion, it's not gone right. Let me show you. This is a left-hand caliper, and I've already fitted one left-hand caliper. So ideally, I needed a right-hand caliper. but they sent me 2 lefts. So luckily, the left caliper was the one that had actually blown. So the caliper on the right-hand side is actually still okay. So thankfully, I've managed to, obviously, I've bolted up the carrier, and then I've put the original caliper back on so I can bleed it all up and can still get it MOT'd. So no major issues there, but obviously I'm just going to have to get it back on the ramp at a later date to get the new caliper fitted. But anyway, good job I got a bit of extra content. There is something else I want to show you, so let's cut to that now. Right, we've just received a delivery. Now, what could be in these boxes? 4 boxes, I see, same size. It's got to be a set of wheels. Right, before I open this box and before anyone gets butthurt about the colour of these wheels, they are not staying this colour. This is the only set of wheels I could find, and this is the colour they were in, so just had to make do of it. So anyway, get ready. Hope you haven't just eaten. Don't know what they call that. Teal? Okay, so here they are. RH ZW1. Basically, the reason why I went for these is because they're based upon the based upon the Porsche Cups, which is on the RS2. So yeah, but they're not genuine Porsche ones, obviously. This is the only colour I could get them in, because this was the only set, and it's a real shame because they have been refurbished absolutely immaculately. You would think they were brand new, but unfortunately we're ditching the dish. We're going wider dish, we're changing the colour, so they're all going to have to be stripped down. But first, before we get there, we need to get them on the S2 and basically see what kind of dish we can run. So we're going to use a spacer behind to bring the wheel out to find out how much extra dish we can have on the outside. So anyway, let's get it on the car. Okay, we're going to start off with the big bad boy, 35mm. This is from the R8 when I had it on the original wheels. So 35mm, is that enough to bring that wheel to this arch? Because this is ET65 or something crazy like that, so it's going to sit really far in. So let's see how it does with a 35. Right, I think we found it. I think we found the one. So it's a bit hard to tell on the camera. Come on. I think that's going to be it. And what we've got in there is 50mm. 50mm worth of spacers. So that means this dish has to be 50mm bigger than that dish. So the new dish has got to be 50mm bigger than this dish. So I'm gonna have to work out what that is in inches because it's not done in mil. So I'm gonna have to convert 50mm to inches and then work out how much extra dish we've got to have the wheel sit where it is. We're gonna check the front as well. I'm just gonna do the front now just to make sure that that actually fits for the state of it. Nice. What a colour combo. Right, I might have got a little bit ahead of myself. I've just completely overlooked the fact that with no spacers, this is going to be 50mm closer to the control arm there, or the tracking arm, and it's also going to be 50mm closer to the shock. So yeah, fair enough, that's where I want the wheel to sit, but I'm going to have to take the spacers off and see how close it is without spacers, because we might have to use a spacer and lower the dish a little touch. So not as big a dish, with one like maybe a 15mm spacer on the back. So I'm going to try that now. Right, we're touching and we are touching. So 10mm, this is going to make it even more awkward to work out now. So we're going to need a 10mm spacer on the back wheel, and yeah, we're just gonna have to figure this out. So it's gonna be 10mm further out, whatever size the dish is. Right, let's have a look. All right, we've got here 15mm. So 15mm spacer clears and also clears there. So let's just move on to the front. Okay, so we've come to a bit of an impasse here. Because of these massive brakes, or say massive, they're huge for this car. and the offset of this caliper. This wheel needs a 35mm spacer just for the spokes to clear the caliper. So that means we can't make this dish any wider because it's already pretty much there. Once this car's lowered, the camber comes in. So the only option is we get a slightly bigger barrel. So you make the barrel bigger, so you've got a little bit to play with up here. I'd say, I'll have to get a vernier out and measure it. That's got to be at least another 35mm there. So I'll have to work out what that is in millimeters again. So we might have to have it so the front dish is 1.25 and the back dish is slightly wider at 2.25. Yeah, so an extra inch on the dish. This is very, very confusing stuff. Right, I've just had another revelation about these wheels. They're gonna have to stay as they are. This is a 2-piece wheel. I'm so used to having 3-piece that I just thought, you know, oh yeah, I'll just change the rear barrel, change the face and leave the center. The center and the barrel are 1 piece. So this is just a bolt-on lip. So that's that. It's a bit of a shame really. I really wanted these to be 9J. Just give that a little bit of extra width and a bit of extra grip. But it looks like we're going to be stuck with 8. Which 8's fine. It's just would have been nicer to have it a little bit wider. So I'm probably going to have to leave the dishes as they are and use a 50mm spacer on the back. Because like I say, we've got the 30 on the front here, which fitment absolutely bang on for these front ones. Caliper clearance is like millimeters. It looks great. The wheel sits correctly. So, yeah, I think we'll just have to deal with the back. Might have to just put that 50mm on there and just be done with it. Because it's 4-wheel drive, I can't very well have 9 on the back and 8 on the front. It's gonna ruin the 4-wheel drive system because of rolling radius. All 4 wheels have got to have the same rolling radius. I could probably, with a bit of hassle, work out profile size front to back, so they're basically the same. Well, they're not going to be the same, they're going to be like 0.5% out, but I don't know if that's acceptable or not. I mean, in theory, yes, it would be, because you know your front tires are going to wear quicker than your back tires, so the tread depth is going to be slightly different, so that could be your percentage there. I'm going to have to look into it, but for the time being, these aren't a major importance at the moment. The main thing we want to do is get this car back on the road so I can drive it, get it MOT'd and get it all sorted. Then we can work on the wheels. Hopefully, yeah, like I say, what we're going to do with them, we're going to strip them down anyway because we don't want them this colour. We're going to have a satin black centre with a gloss black lip and gold bolts. I'll throw a little picture up now to show you what I'm talking about because I've seen it on another car and they look great, and I think we want to stick really with the stealth look of this car. I love the black on the green, so we're going to stick with that, although these do look pretty cool, but not really feeling it on the car. Like, I'm sort of thinking definitely stick with black on green just to give it that aggressive look. I do like my black wheels. Okay, so we're heading over to willtheyfit.com to basically check out if we can get the rolling radius right. So what we've done is 195 45 17, 215 40 17. So with this combo, we basically get it's a 4mm difference. So the actual, so it's 0.58% difference. So there's 4mm difference between the front and the rear. So fingers crossed that should be acceptable for the 4-wheel drive system. So it's only like running 4mm difference in tyres, but we'll see. Right, we've got our lips all the way from Germany. So these are custom made, I guess, fit various wheels, but they do definitely fit on here. So there's our new lip. This is for the back. So obviously, like I just said, we're going to be running different size tyres, but the same or nearly the same rolling radius. I mean, so to say, 4mm out, and I'm sure that'll be acceptable for the four-wheel drive system. So those dishes is going to give it that little bit extra on the rear, to give it that bit of sort of that Euro stance that, you know, that car sort of deserves. Yeah, and the fronts, obviously, like I say, they're going to have to stay as they are, but I'm sure it'll look fine once they're all refurbed, and I'm going to drop the coilovers just a little bit as well, and hopefully then, yeah, we'll be good to go. I've just completely forgotten about this. If anyone is interested, this Sunday, the 10th, at 1 o'clock, 1 till 5, here at Vision Auto Works, there is a supercar show happening. Loads of cool cars. It's all to do around a company launch, Ace Detailing, a mate of mine's company, and it's happening here right at Vision Auto Works. So if you fancy coming on down, there's going to be loads of supercars here. If you've got a supercar and you want to come, give me a shout and I can sort you out a spot. Postcode is DT5 1GB. It's all on the website. If you just Google Vision Auto Works, the details and the address are on the website. So maybe I'll see you here on Sunday the 10th, 1 till 5. So anyway, thanks for watching. As usual, thanks for your patience. Obviously, it's been a long time. I've probably mentioned this before, but if you're new to the channel, I don't do this as a regular job. YouTube is not my job. My job is running a garage. Obviously, I have customers and stuff like that have to come first before the YouTube. At the moment, one day I'll be solely YouTube. That's the plan anyway. But until then, obviously the content is going to sort of have to come as and when it can, because obviously I've got other commitments. But yeah, what I'm going to do, I've got through pretty much all of the backlog of work. So hopefully soon we're going to see a bit more content. The R8 and then the S2. We'll do a drive video. Basically, the next video you'll see on the S2 is going to be the MOT. So we'll get the plates made up, we'll get it ready, get it taken for the MOT, and then maybe I'll show you the MOT happening. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the channel. We've sort of peaked a little bit here. We're at 1,900 subscribers. We're getting close to 2,000, so help us get there. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.